Abbie, it's been quite a while since we last spoke. I think last time we left off it was a win away to Gwalior. Just kind of, what were the reflections like amongst the team after that and then into the long Christmas break?
Yeah, I think I made it really clear to the group that it was a must-win before we go into the Christmas period. But I wanted us to win in a certain way. Going 1-0 down wasn't, in the script. But credit to the girls. They dug in. They stuck to the game plan really well. We knew how we could hurt Gwalior. It was just a case of doing that. A few tweaks on the day as well, and obviously then we got our rewards with quite a comfortable win in the end and a really, really solid performance.
It was always going to be a long break, but it's been probably longer than expected, anticipated, hoped for. What's it like, as a manager of a football team to kind of navigate this with, you're almost coming into the unknown in a sense that we haven't played in over a month now. What's it like to then, try and navigate that period and, keep focus during that time?
Yeah, so we've used it as almost like a mini reset, a little pre-season within itself. Ollie's been great in keeping the girls ticking over fitness-wise, and we've been lucky enough to have some behind closed doors friendlies as well, which we've utilised with our partnerships with the university. But yeah, it's been difficult. Obviously a break is always good to have, especially in obviously the women's game where you've got to get that balance right between giving enough and then having enough off, and I think the girls came back really well after the Christmas break into what I called our mini pre-season, a little 2 weeks of really intense tactical work, really intense technical work on what we're looking for in and out of possession, and just give us a chance to reset. We had a team meeting as well just after Christmas and just realign some of the goals that we wanted to achieve second half of the season. People will look in and say, they've not been top of the league, they've not, been consistent in the wins, etc. But there's been a lot of noise going on around the football club and a lot of noise that we've had to answer as a team as well. And I think we've done that incredibly well. And we've stood up to the challenges that we've been faced. And we've come out and we've come swinging. And probably where we sit at the moment is a good reflection of where of the first half of the season that we've had. But I think it's fine margins. We go away to Bournemouth and we're 5 minutes away from winning that game. We're 5 minutes away from winning a game against Argyle at SJP. That and they're both in a title race. That could have been us. 6 points difference makes it, a huge difference to the table readings. Away at Oxford as well, we were narrowly beaten in a game that we dominated. So it's almost turning those almost into what we can have and what we should have, and those little fine details, just fine tuning a few things and some home truths in our team discussions and things, but really realigning and resetting as a group on where we want to go and how we feel we can achieve that. So it's not just on them as well, it's on us as staff to make sure that we listen, we take on board and we move forward. So it's been a really good what you say month. I think it's almost 50 days between last kicking a ball and to when we will eventually kick one against Argyle. So it's been a good break, but we are chomping at the bit now to get back at it, and we've got a good 10 days prep ahead of the Challenge Cup game.
During this time also we've strengthened the ranks with the addition of Jazz Stiles and Carly Kellen. Just how have they been settling in this time where without any game time? It must be hard for them to settle in, but how have they been mixing in with the squad? Yeah,
really well. Carly is a bundle of energy, young 16-year-old that has come through the Tiverton ranks as well as ours, and went out on loan for the first half of the season. Has done incredibly well at Torquay, and we just felt that there was something there that we wanted to have a look at second half of the season in and around a first team environment. How could she react? How could she handle things? Is she going to be able to adapt to some of the criticism that you take in a first team environment as well with the coaching, and she's done that really well, and she's listening and is a really good character to have around, brings down one or two of the older ones as well, which is a nice vibe. And the same for Jazz. Jazz has come over from Australia to challenge herself, and on days like today when it's pouring with rain and it's freezing cold, I do question why she's left that lovely sunshine, but she's been a great addition. She is a real technical player, really deep line midfield player, like a proper old school number 4 that wants to get the ball off the goalie and just keep things ticking. She's nothing fancy, but everything that you need in one of those sorts of midfielders. Just really keeps the tempo of the game moving. And like I said, we've had some behind closed doors friendlies, we've had some training games, and I think for them it's been really important that they got up to the intensity of the game. Jazzy will tell you that the intensity is nowhere near what it's like in Australia for all of the good technical qualities that they have. that physicality and that speed of the game is just different. So it's been nice that they've had this time to settle in. Jazz and Carly will both feature in our Challenge Cup game, so it's a good little incentive now for them to build into that in what is now a match day countdown for us.
We mentioned the next game up is that game against Argyle in the Challenge Cup at a different venue. We're at the Exeter Arena. Just what's the kind of early thoughts going into this, both from the game point of view, but also trying out a different arena in the arena? Yeah,
so obviously we've made no secret that we want to play back in Exeter. We feel that we should be playing in Exeter as Exeter City. St James's Park is a fantastic facility for us, but it's not somewhere where we can call home just through to the sheer quantity of games that would need to take place on the pitch, and we know that, and we also want a home of our own, and Exeter Arena is one that we could very well do that with the FA grants and with other schemes that are available. It could very much be a future possibility for us. So County Ground has been fantastic, and the Devon FA have been brilliant in homing us and will continue to home us for the rest of the season, but it's a really good opportunity for us to trial what is a fantastic facility right in the heart of Exeter, right in the local community, between St James's Park and the training ground. We're asking all the fans to really come out and give it a real good push for what we could look to then have as a home ground for next season, and we want that. The players want that. As I said, we want somewhere where we can call our own, and the arena ticks all the boxes for that. It's a fantastic little stadium with all the surroundings that we need, and the council have been fantastic in ensuring that we can work with them and partner with them. So yeah, we're really hopeful that is a good evening, and obviously then the football will take care of itself for sure.
It's been hard for some of the fans to understand how we've got 3 home games but at 3 different venues during this time. Is there anything you can almost say to kind of calm the nerves and just reassure the supporters of, firstly of just focusing on the Exeter Arena? Is there anything you could say to, as like an incentive just for them to come and try it out?
Yeah, exactly that. I think trying it out is exactly what we're doing, is why we want to do it. We want to see if it would work for us from not just a footballing perspective, from the actual venue, but what's it like as an experience for a fan? Is it easy to get to? Is the parking good? Is the local transport great? Is it an accessible venue? Will it work being having the running track between the players and the fans? We want that feedback back. So what better opportunity than to literally test it? And then obviously we'll always have our statement games at St James's Park. That is in the diary from pre-season planning with Charlie, the groundsman, and Gary and stuff. So that's what we love. We love those moments. It gives not just us an opportunity to play there and for us to feel that special environment at SJP, but also for the fans and for the young girls growing up, that they can aspire to be an Exeter City women's player and have the opportunities to play on the big stage, because that's what St James's Park is, and we know that. So yeah, we want a home for ourselves. That's why we're trying the arena. So please come out and support that event, and then equally come along to make sure you're supporting us at St James's Park, because there are always fantastic occasions, normally always a positive result, and a fantastic, like I said, day in the park itself.
Jaydee, we faced Plymouth Argyle in the first taste of Devon Challenge Cup action of the season on Wednesday. How have preparations for this one looked like?
Yeah, good. We haven't really focused. Our focus has been on Lewis, and then it's also been on Argyle. I think they both play in similar ways. Their formation is pretty much identical, so it's actually come at a really good time. We're able to play Argyle and prepare for that, and obviously we want to win that game and then go on to Lewis, where it's the same formation, the same playing style, and we need to get the 3 points for the league. So it's quite good really that we've been able to have these 2 teams right in the same week, because yeah, we're working our 2 weeks preparation now really has been quite good, because it hits both of them with their playing styles. So
we were last in action away to Gwalia when we won 6-1 just before Christmas. Feels like a decade ago, but if you can remember, what was the response to this result like amongst the team afterwards?
Yeah, it was really good. It does feel like such a long time ago, but Abs has spoke about it to us, and she said that we have to keep that momentum and keep that feeling in our guts, and remember that game for what we're going into this week. And it will be a hard one, 2 really good teams, but Yeah, Gwalia was a really good game for us, and I spoke to the girls before the game, and I said I just want us to be confident in everything we do. Confident in taking on players, confident in our passing, confident in our finishing, and if that doesn't go our way, then that's okay, but at least we brought an aspect of confidence with that, and I think the girls thrived off of that, and it was a team performance. There was a real togetherness, I think, in the changing room before the game and after the game. So yeah, it was a really good win, and we just got to, even though it was such a long time ago, put that momentum into the games that we've got coming up now.
It was always going to be a long festive break, but it's been longer than I imagine it was, hoped for, anticipated for. How difficult has it been to kind of navigate through these postponements and keep your head in the game with bearing in mind we haven't played in 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's been hard. We always like to have a break, but yeah, I don't think anyone thought it was going to be this long. I mean, before the Lewis game that got postponed, we were here, we were training, we all got showered, we were ready to get on the coach, and then the game's been cancelled. So, at least we got the training days in, and we've been working hard. I mean, it's disappointing because everyone wants to play a match. I mean, that's the reason why we turn up to training in the wet weather and the wind and everything else. We want to play those 90 minutes on the Sunday. So, it has been disappointed, but I think the girls have been really focused, the management has been really focused, and even though we haven't played a game, training's been really, really good. So I think we'll be okay.
Obviously, Wednesday's game sees a new venue for us as well, as we host Argyle at the Exeter Arena. What's the kind of feeling amongst the team going into this one?
Good. I mean, because we're so low down, I've always said it. We're a versatile team. We're sort of put here, there and everywhere. Coach Road, and now we're trying the Exeter Arena. Sometimes we're at SJP. So I think we deal well with change. We deal well with like long journeys and go into different venues. So I think a venue change doesn't overly bother us. From a playing point of view, I think, well, personally for me, I'm ecstatic. I'm really happy for the fans. It's closer to Exeter. They don't have to travel so far. I know a lot of fans struggle, and we're so appreciative of them being able to get to Newton Abbot, but it feels nice that it's closer to home. More fans can come, we're in the city and we play for the city. So yeah, really looking forward to it, and hopefully a lot of fans can come out, seeming that it's a little bit closer.
If you had any kind of words of encouragement for fans who are a bit maybe dubious about trying this arena out, as a change, what would you say to those fans that are maybe unsure of trying it out?
Just come along. Come along. We're always so engaging. I think that's the thing that I love about this football team. We're always so engaging. It doesn't matter where we are. We always take time out. It doesn't matter the score or how we're feeling at the end. We always try and make time for the fans. But without fans turning up and letting us know how they feel about the arena or venues, then we're not going to know how to change. We need feedback to make this football club better, and we need to strive in the right direction. And there's been feedback about Coach Road, so that's why we're trying out this venue, and we need as many people to come and share their feels about the arena, so we can find out what's best for the players and find out what's best for the fans and the football club as well. So yeah, just come down. We obviously love it. We need the support. We want the support. We love you guys, but yeah, just let us know how you feel about the travel and about the arena itself. Looking back at the football aspect now, obviously we faced Argyle back in October. What can be brought in from that game? But also, is there any differences we might expect from that last meeting with them? Yeah, I mean, there's been a massive change in Argyle this season. Obviously, new manager, massive big budget, and lots of new players brought in from all over the UK, really. So it was a complete different change. I think in the background there was a lot of noise about the football club. There was a lot of noise about the performance maybe that we were having at the start of the season, and it was a Devon derby, and the girls we've played in that. We're all local Devon girls, so we knew what it was going to be like to play in this game, and we knew we had a game plan, and I think we executed that quite well. Last 5 minutes, unfortunately, they've scored the goal and we've drawn it. But at the end of the day, that's not a bad. It's not a bad result for where this football club is to where that football club is going. I mean, the playing aspect and the budget and the time that the manager gets spent with the players is so much more than what we could probably dream of. But we were happy with the result. We were really happy with the result, and we'll go again this Wednesday and see what we can do, and see if we can, you know, get the win this time. And I think we executed the game plan really, really well on the day. And 5 minutes at the end, it's let us down, but I don't think they knew how to handle us. So their coaching staff's really good. Obviously, Marie's doing a really good job over there, so she'll probably look back at the game. She'll know exactly what she wants to do, and I'm sure with the hours that she's got with the players, it'll be drilled into them exactly how she wants them to play. So it's an experience, and it's another Devon derby, and everyone loves it, and the players love it, and the fans love it. So we just gotta get up for the experience, and hopefully we come away with a win.
Looking at the rest of 2026, obviously now we've, you know, after this Wednesday, it gets back into the normal kind of routine for us. But what are some of your hopes and ambitions for the second half of the season? Just
to win as many games as we can, really. I think maybe morale dropped a little bit in the first half of the season. I think the girls thought that we were doing a lot worse than what we were. When you look at what we did last season to what we did this season, we're not that far off it, and we're really not. And I think during the Christmas break, Abs reminded us of how close we actually are to what we were achieving last season, and it's completely possible for us to go and do better things if we have a good start to the end, if we have a good end to the end part of the season. And everything's possible, and I just want to keep this togetherness with the team, see out this last bit of the season with the fans, with the girls, and yeah, go from there. And you know, football's football, people come and go, so just this last couple of months, just really sticking with each other and giving it all we've got for these last couple of games. Yeah, that's all I'm hoping for.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Cool, thanks.